Welcome back, my fellow poets, to another Spooky Saturday video. To those of you who stumble across my content for the first time, I am your narrator, paranormal poet, and I narrate true, paranormal, scary stories who focuses more on atmosphere rather than visual aid to terrify you. So sit back, relax, and step into the world of the unknown.
Imagine moving into a new apartment, excited for a fresh new start, only to discover you are not the only one living there. Doors unlocking on their own, things vanishing into thin air, and the sound of an elevator that no one called. Tonight, we're diving into a true story that will make you think twice before renting that next unit. Because sometimes, the former tenants never truly leave. Hello, paranormal poet. My name is AJ, and this is something I will never forget. You could say it turned me into a full-blown believer in the paranormal. So here's the backstory. I live in an apartment complex that's not too old, and there's this one unit on my floor the residents all gossip about, but don't really want to let it be known publicly. A man used to live there. He acted pretty normal, from what I've heard, kept to himself and was very friendly. Thing is, he had a history of seizures, and the one that took his life was violent. Management said he was found dead on arrival. Anyway, after he passed, the apartment stayed empty for a while, until a young couple moved in. At first, they loved the place. I remember seeing them smiling, moving boxes, and being excited. But within a week, that all changed. They started noticing their things disappearing. Nothing major at first. A phone, keys, some important paperwork. But what freaked them out was that these things would just vanish when they had just set them down, and then show up hours later in places they swore they already checked. Still, they tried to brush it off. You know, we're tired from moving, we're stressed, we're misplacing things. But then came the moment that made them leave everything behind. It was a normal night, nothing strange. They went to bed like always, door locked, deadbolt turned, and when they woke up the next morning, getting ready for work, they noticed something truly terrifying. The deadbolt was unlocked. The chain latch on the inside was undone, and the door was open. Just a few inches, like someone had slipped out while they slept, or worse, had been inside watching them and left before they woke up. They swore up and down they didn't touch the locks, and there was no signs of forced entry. They packed their stuff that same day. They didn't even finish their lease. So fast forward a couple of weeks later, after that couple was gone, I was hanging out with my buddy. He lives on the same floor, a couple units down. We were pulling an all-nighter, you know, watching horror movies, talking about random stuff. It was around 2:30 a.m., and we decided to grab snacks and drinks from the vending machines downstairs to keep the night going. On the way back, as we're walking through the hallway, it's dead silent. Not a sound. Everyone else is asleep. And that's when it happened. From the elevator shaft, we suddenly hear this loud bell. But not just any bell. The emergency bell. You know, the one you press if you're stuck inside. Not the regular ding when someone arrives on the floor. We froze. It rang once, then again, and then a third time. But when we looked down the hall, the elevator doors weren't even open. No one was even there. And there was no sound of it moving between floors. Just that awful high-pitched emergency bell, echoing like someone was trapped or trying to get out. Then, as suddenly as it began, the room was again eerily quiet. it to our unit and finished the movie. The next morning, I couldn't get it out of my head. That whole experience was just so bizarre. So I went to the security guard. I know him pretty well. I asked him if he could check the footage, just to see if maybe someone was in the elevator, trapped, playing a prank or something. Anything to explain it. Later that day, he got back to me and said, "Hey Jay, I checked everything. No one was in that elevator, but the emergency bell light was lit up." Before this whole encounter, I was a skeptic. I didn't necessarily believe in the paranormal. But since then, I've come around and changed my perspective. That experience changed me into who I am today. If you enjoyed this true story and wish to see more like it in the future, don't forget to hit subscribe if you are new, click that like button for me, and comment what moment did it for you. If you love true, paranormal, scary stories in audio-only format, you are in the right place, so tune in every Saturday at 9 p.m. PST for new stories every week.
Through the static and the silence, a whisper calls your name, a voice that chills your spirit, yet soothes you all the same. In the dark, the tales unfold, where shadows love